everybody, welcome to Fractured Focus. I am your host, the illustrious Dan Gordon, and coming in tonight for episode number 15 is the man, the myth, the legend, Mr. Matt Swinehart. Matt, hello. How are you doing?
Hello.
And I'm
good.
And what's the word down in the great state of Nebraska?
I don't know.
Okay, all right.
I don't know if we have words here. More sounds.
Oh, yeah. Hello, everybody. This is the show where we talk about everything from geek culture to nerd news, everything in between. Tonight, we are going to be starting off with what everyone has been seeing this weekend, the swan song to Hugh Jackman's performance as Logan. Matt, I know you saw it on Friday. Before we even get into the movie, there was one thing that I really wanted to touch on, and that was when I saw the film, there was one preview. And that one preview for Deadpool 2, which was everything I wanted in a trailer. It was everything and then some. It explained nothing about what the movie was, but it had everything that I loved about it, and I think it was a great way to get out there that, hey, he's coming down. He's coming down the line. It's more of what we love. So, Matt, what did you think of the trailer? What are your thoughts?
I didn't really consider it a trailer. It was like a mini episode for me.
It's a semi-trailer. A pseudo-trailer.
Yeah, well, they're calling it a trailer.
That's right.
I think it's just one of those little things, a nugget from Deadpool.
Yeah. Did you catch?
So no, I thought that was great.
Did you catch the Nathan Summers is coming written on the phone booth?
Yeah. Yeah, with a U.
Cable. Cable's coming. And how about the song choices? I like the what he's listening to in the headphones was the what was it? It was the theme from the intro song from the first movie, I guess. And then
I can't remember.
And then like the jump to the Superman theme song when he runs into the phone booth.
Yeah.
And then I guess like there was also an additional version of this out on YouTube that kind of had the extended features of when he's coming back running across the street after he jumps out of the phone booth, and do you remember the movie St. Elmo's Fire?
Yeah.
All right, it was playing that song as he's running through, and Stan Lee jumps, off in the distance, says, "Hey, nice suit."
Yeah. He goes, "Shut up, Stan Lee." Yeah. Yeah, I watched both, and when I got home, I saw that they had the trailer also on Twitter and Facebook and whatever.
2.5 to 3 minutes of him just trying to change in a phone booth.
That was pretty funny.
While a mugger and an old man are just going at it. And then shocking, we get the pressed ham, Ryan Reynolds' ass up against the glass at one point. I don't know. I mean, everything about that was just, it's very, very Deadpool, but
it is.
It makes me look forward to seeing the movie. But that out of the way.
Yes.
Let's get into Logan. Let me get your initial reaction, your brief synopsis, your feel. What's the headline of the movie? What are you thinking?
I want to say I really liked it, but it was missing something. I left the theater a little disappointed.
Really? Okay.
I think with me, I kind of had these hopes that they would go more into how it got to where it is, and apparently they did. Apparently they shot that. There were some flashback scenes they didn't use in the movie, from what I understand, that kind of explained why there's no more mutants. And I wish they would have included that. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's just a huge jump from where we've been in the XMen universe to seeing the Logan and the finality of it. I mean, overall the movie was good. Yeah. I thought I could have cut the movie by about a half an hour. Some stuff to me was just kind of unnecessary. Not like it didn't have its place. I just thought I could have shortened the movie, especially without that other content. And then the whole thing about why he was sick and why his healing factor was failing. I fail to understand how it was the adamantium that was doing it.
Yeah, because
spoiler.
Yeah, that's true. This is the spoiler-filled versions. We apologize, and that typically we normally make that disclaimer at the beginning of the episode, but don't worry, we haven't spoiled too much for you in case you haven't seen the movie yet. But yeah, kind of getting into that. So again, spoilers continued. They did, yeah. They didn't really address that it was specifically the adamantium that was poisoning him. We just know that he's old. He's old man Logan. With the old man piece is like he's kind of he has some problems getting it up.
Yeah,
I guess, which they
2 out of the
established
3 claws.
with that, with very early in the movie. Yeah, that was to your point is as far as what they did and what they kind of didn't do, and overall I walked out like with a good impression because like I said this is Hugh Jackman saying goodbye to being Wolverine now. And I think that going with the Old Man Logan series was a great way of doing that. I know that they took some liberties with the movie compared to the comic book, as far as story driver. Like there was the issue with the X-Men dying as a result of Charles and instead of Logan, I guess, which is what happened in the comics. That was a little bit of a trade-off, which I think was a decent one, because it gave us like a great excuse to kind of have Patrick Stewart. I love anything in Patrick Stewart's in. So, but I don't know. I guess I walked out with a little bit of a better. Maybe it's, part of it was probably my expectation too, is because like I said, this is supposed to be kind of like I looked at this as kind of like it's a farewell movie. We're saying goodbye. And first off, the way that they framed it as the mutants are more or less gone, and they go into detail and as far as the scientists in the film explaining how they went about doing that over a series of I think it was like decades of something of just altering,
because it was 2029.
Yeah, something like that. I want to say it was some kind of like when I did the math in the theater. I'm like, wait a minute, that's like 12 years. That's kind of like an odd number, but all right, I'll buy 12 years out. But the way that they described that the selective active suppression of mutation, and it looks like even Caliban had a role in taking all the active mutants and hunting them down, which kind of wrapped up the mutants are more or less gone. I think that kind of framed it as part of this whole dystopia that the Old Man Logan is based around. They didn't go as far as in the comics as far as like parsing out U.S. territory. I mean, the United States is pretty much gone, and it's fractioned out into companies headed up by supervillains. It's still just kind of regular status quo, USA, but it's really not. Even though there was nothing really dystopian about it, the way everything was framed really kind of placed it as like this is kind of a depressing place to be around, and it was everything kind of subtle from, the conditions that Logan and Professor X were living in at the beginning of the movie. Again, not because that's the way the world worked, but the job that he took on as the limo driver and every kind of interaction that he had like for the first 15-20 minutes of the movie, it just felt scummy. He was getting carjacked at the very beginning, and these carjackers tried to kill him with a shotgun because they wanted to steal rims. That was the first one. Then you see like the customers that he's driving around. You got the sleazy kind of almost oil tycoon. You've got a bunch of looks like drunk high schoolers in funky looking tuxes screaming USA at people, and they're in Texas. They're at the border.
Yeah.
You see like
they're on the wall or whatever.
Yeah, you see like the drunken Bridesmaids Party, and and a bride just kind of like flashing Logan at the beginning. It's like there's no real good guy here, throughout this movie. I mean, Logan's never really been like a good guy. He does good things, and he's a character that you root for, but he's not. He's gruff. Professor X, he's now a crotchety old man. Swears up and down. He's got like looks like either Alzheimer's or some kind of mental disorder. You got Caliban
or something.
Caliban's wasting away. You've got I'm going down the list here about everybody that they interact with. I mean, and there's the villains, obviously. The strike team that attacks them in the beginning. The kid X-23 that he's trying to protect. I mean, she's just savage. I mean, she's like most of the movie. She's got
like
scalps.
feral cat. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah, very much so. even the family that he, towards the end of the movie, that they kind of spend the night with, and he's seeing like this really, wholesome and just genuine, loving family, and then they end up getting murdered, and even the dad, right before he finally dies, pulls a gun on Logan. Just kind of gun him down, and I remember walking out, I'm like, that was amazing, but holy crap, there was no. The Children of the Corn mutants, like when they're finally killing the guy with the robotic arm at the end.
Yeah.
Like all of these things kind of piecing together, and I'm like, wow, great movie, but there is not like really a bright spot anywhere. I mean, they really just kind of leave it as a downer. So, but that being said, it was, like I said, the story was compelling. The connection. So in the comics, X-23 is his daughter, but
she's a mutant that's created
yes.
from his DNA.
Yes, yeah, that's right. But and then who is his? He had a son with his Japanese wife too. Was that X-20? Was that X-24 in the comics?
I don't know Logan's story well enough for that.
Okay, but yeah, so that the connection that they kind of had with that there was a lot of similarities, I guess, and that you can definitely see a little bit of Logan in the way that she was kind of portrayed.
Certainly.
The Pharaoh thing was a great example, but oh man, how about the blood? Can we talk a moment about the Gore Factor in this one?
Oh yeah, I was glad that it was R-rated.
Yeah.
And not just for the language and all those other things, but it added that validity. Mm-hmm. To Logan. I mean, because you got to think about the other X-Men movies having a PG-13 rating, and they had to avoid a lot of that stuff. But I mean, that stuff was present in those movies, but only in your imagination. I mean, at least at some point we got to see that with Logan. Mm-hmm. So no, I like that. I thought it was acted very well. I thought it was a good story. I think I just wanted a lot more out of it. Mm-hmm. Especially when I was getting comparisons prior to going in and reviews that like this is Marvel's Dark Knight.
Really?
And I love Dark Knight.
Yeah, that's a high bar to put anything up against.
It is.
I don't know if I wouldn't go that far.
It's like, is this the best Marvel movie they've ever made? I don't know. I'm pretty subjective in that. Is it the best Logan movie? By far. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, and I'm with you. I loved seeing Professor X dealing with his issues. The whole dementia aspect of it, him not being able to control his powers because this is somebody that's immensely powerful. Mm-hmm. And it's not something they'd really touched on before. You have all these people with these enormous powers. You finally get to see what happens to one of these people when they age and they can't control it. You kind of saw what happened with some of the kids, but this is like that moment when you see the consequences of it. It's like, what happens if we just leave nuclear weapons all over the place? Yeah. So, and that's kind of the way they approached it too. Yeah. So I thought it was good.
Yeah. And I actually had to. I wasn't aware of this until after we left the theater, but I guess like Hugh Jackman, he was both. He was both Logan and X-24 in this movie. And I swear to God, when I was watching, I'm like, oh, they had to CGI his face on some dude's body so that he's X-24. I'm like, nope, that was him. That was straight up him. I still find it just so hard to believe, just because the visual, the way that Hugh Jackman looks as Old Man Logan is that of an older man, an old man that is kind of withering away. You look at X-24, and this dude is ripped. He's defined. How do you do that? Was this like something where they shot him as X-24 and then like 3 months they had to starve him for 3 months and then have him shoot as Logan for the rest of the movie? Because
I don't think so.
He was
because there's companies out there in Hollywood that their primary function is to make actors look better. Mm-hmm. I mean, people like Jack Nicklaus has been using it, Kim Basinger. I mean, there's companies that come in and they do After Effects where they touch up actors to make them not look as old.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
So the technology's out there for them to do that.
Yeah. it just
And the thing is I mean, you can put wardrobe on people, kind of hide that muscular physique somewhat. I mean, yeah, to some extent, he probably did have to take a break in shooting, slim down, lose that water weight, whatever it was. But I mean, if you look at Hugh Jackman throughout the years, he's just been getting more and more jacked.
yeah, you noticed that too.
Yeah.
He was bigger in what was it, Days of Future Past, than he was in the original X-Men movie.
Yeah.
That poor man. What are they beating him with off screen to like get him like, all right, do an extra 30 crunches, do an extra 50 push-ups. Oh man.
Well, I think at some point though, I mean that regiment just happens, and they do have some lead up going into these. And after 5 movies or 6 movies, however many he's been in, I'm sure that he has those nutritionist people and those trainers and stuff that can get him in that shape.
Yeah. Oh man. But yeah. Well, I mean, great performances all around. I was nothing but impressed, and like I said, it was a great way to kind of see, just Logan die. He's been around for a while. He still has essentially they have like a jumping off point. If they wanted to do something with the X-23, I kind of hope that they don't. But the other thing that too was that I like the fact that, especially given that most movies these days, you're always going to have that post scene credits. The teaser, the tie-in to the next kind of movie in the series is that this one is like, nope, this is a period at the end of the sentence.
Yeah.
There is no Logan's coming back, or there is no, here's the next X-Men movie that's kind of coming out. It's like, no, this is over and done with. This is supposed to be about finality.
Yeah, it definitely put that finality into it.
Yeah.
And I guess one other thing about that, something I found towards the end of the movie that I liked a lot, was when she met up with those other kids. There was a hierarchy within even those children.
Oh yeah, that's true.
I mean, the one kid with the kind of the telepathy and everything, he's the one that was in charge. He was the leader. I mean, you could obviously tell. Mm-hmm. But all the other ones had their value, or they all had their place.
Yeah.
Which I thought was great, and that's one of the things that I really liked about the original X-Men movies.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, just part of a greater group than, or something greater than yourself, I guess. But,
yeah.
Yeah. Well, that was our kind of take on Logan the movie. Tell us what you think in the comments. If you saw the movie, did you like it? Did you not like it? Did you want to see something more than what you did? Did you think they kind of put everything in a nice, pretty bow, nice, pretty package?